Hello, oil enthusiasts. Hold on to your diffuser because it's about to get wild and fragrant in here. In today's episode, we are continuing with our 10-part series all about the best oils to have on hand for all of life's emergencies. Stick around to the end for the scoop of the day. Welcome to the Essential Oil Scoop, where we're all about sass, class, and a whole lot of plant-based fun. I'm your host, Vicki Labrilia, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Sarah Sipos. Together, we'll be your guides to the world of essential oils. And trust us, there's no better team for the job. With my passion for natural wellness and Sarah's encyclopedia-like knowledge of essential oils and our sparkling wit and charm, we will be diving into the world of essential oils, giving you all the tips, tricks, and the juicy scoop that you need to make the most of those plant extracts. Don't forget to share, like, save, subscribe, and follow our podcast so you get notified every time we upload a new episode. So grab your favorite oils and your favorite drink, put on your listening ears, and let's get ready to have some fun with essential oils. Hello, my friend Sarah. How are you?
I am so good today. How are you, Vicki?
I am good. I'm really excited about today's podcast because today we're talking about lavender. And Sarah, I'm going to give you the reins. I want you to go and share all your knowledge, and I will be the back end to that because there's so much that this Swiss Army knife lavender has in store. So take it away, my friend.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you called it the Swiss Army knife because here we are. We're talking about things that maybe need to go in our to-go bags or for all of life's little emergencies and the things that we have that come up. And I feel like a broken record when somebody asks me, "Oh, what do you use for this? What do you use for that? What do you use for this?" And I'm like, lavender, lavender, lavender. And I sound like a broken record, but it's because it's so good and it can be used for so many different things.
I
Um,
agree.
so let's talk about really quick. It's sourced from Bulgaria. That is one of the places that it gets sourced from. And it is, I love, and we can get into this in another podcast, and I promise you we will, because I love talking about co-impact sourcing. And I know that that's a place in Vicki's heart as well when we do talk about co-impact sourcing. But I love how sustainable that lavender is, and I love that we do it so sustainably, and I love that we protect the environment around these beautiful lavender plants when we are picking the plants or extracting the plants from the ground. So I just love it. Anyway, let's jump right in and let's talk about all of its properties. Lavender has a sedative property. It has an antihistamine properties. It has a hypotensive properties, and it's a relaxant, a calming, antibacterial, and regenerative. So it's got several different properties in it that make it so amazing. And it has, remember how we talked about peppermint having like over 200 uses? Lavender's
Correct.
in that same category of having like over 200 uses as well. So hold on to your hats, people, because we are going to really dive into these, and I think you'll be really surprised at all the different things that we can use lavender for, but it is fantastic to be used topically. It's so good for our skin, scalp, really helps in our endocrine system. It's
Yep.
really going to help with um, relaxation and calming us down. And maybe if anyone is having a trouble sleeping, or you've got some of those fussy babies or things, kids, teenagers, even teenagers, if you need to like calm them down because they're a little too excited at night, I'm all about the lavender and trying to calm my whole family down. And we all know, because I've talked about it before, how much I love lavender and citrus bliss together to help me to sleep. So this is lavender is just like it's just such a great friend. And I can tell you that lavender is a really great one, especially for um pregnant mamas that might be getting ready to deliver soon. It's a really good oil to have on hand, especially for that. It's a really great one to have on hand for when you've been out in the sun a little too long. I don't know, you can't see me, but like I am fair-skinned, freckled, and I walk out in the sun, and the minute I walk out there, I look like a lobster. I get bright red, and lavender is amazing to kind of soothe my skin after I've been in the sun. I can't even say way too long. I would say like, 15 minutes in and I look like I'm baked. So,
Well, Sarah, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. And I want to touch on that because our skin is the biggest organ in our body, right? It is showing to the sun. So, my friend, just like you, I have some Filipino in me and some Hispanic, but I look like a towhead. I am as white as can be. So, as much as I love the sun, I tend to burn and then tan, right? And that's not good. When I was younger, I used to do that a lot. Some of you may have used coconut oil. I'm not saying I did or didn't, but I wanted that glow being from California. But my friends, once I got into the world of essential oils, I loved learning that peppermint, we've already talked about peppermint essential oil, making a combination of peppermint and lavender is extremely soothing and calming to that skin that has been irritated by too much sun exposure. So I know for you, you are a Disney woman, right? When you go to Disney, and I'm pretty sure you have both of these oils on hand because they are so useful. So we've talked about peppermint. So go to that podcast, my friends. I forget which episode it is, but it's in the description. But lavender, if you are exposed, prolonged exposure to the sun, and your skin is like, I need some TLC, lavender would be your jam. Add it to your lotion, add it to a spray bottle to mist your body. I mean, Sarah, is there any other tips that you can give as far as lavender for your skin?
oh my gosh, it's a really good in a roller bottle. I like putting it in a roller bottle. I like putting, I don't typically when I am exposed to the sun, I just really prefer lavender and coconut oil together. For me, that is my jam. It really just soothes my skin perfectly. I don't need to add anything else. Although I do add lavender to my aloe vera as well.
Oh, yes, that is great. The
So
linalool is the soothing chemical constituent that is almost half of your lavender.
yeah.
So, I mean, the linalool component, when you break it down chemistry wise, and that's as scientific as Vicky's going to get, but that is what is allowing your body to do the healing and soothe that discomfort, whether it's physical or external. So yeah, I freaking love lavender. It is so good.
One of the, I guess more of the surprising ways that I like to use lavender is along my jawline.
Oh, please do
I
share.
I tend to clench my teeth when I'm sleeping, and so I will wake up with some pain in my jaw. And if I put lavender or our Serenity blend, whatever I have sitting next to my bed, and if I just roll that down my jawline, it will help me so I'm not waking up in this crazy pain with in my jaw.
Yeah. It is so soothing emotionally and physically. Now, Sarah and I have already discussed that we are going to be doing podcast specifically designed to the emotional benefits of these oils because it deserves its own platform and its own time frame. But my friends, lavender is the essential oil of communication and calm. So lavender, as soothing as it is, physically, it's also soothing emotionally. So I don't know about you, but I can get pretty anxious depending on the scenarios of life. I love using lavender in my bath. I add some Epsom salt and I add a couple drops of this pure lavender essential oil into my bath, and it just helps me unwind. So I would highly recommend, if you're a bath taker, to incorporate that in a bath. Try it out, see if you like it, or put it in your diffuser, my friends. The aromatic compounds will go through our olfactory system to our limbic system and trigger a proper response. So, my friends, did you know that I love lavender?
I'm pretty sure it's a favorite for so many people out there. Um, and the cardiovascular system, it really does help that cardiovascular system because it helps us to calm down, to like really calm our nervous system down, right? And so that also helps with a cardiovascular and keeps our cardio, our heart work. Our heart is happier when we don't get stressed out. And so lavender helps us to not feel that stress. So
And I
I'm
don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that has never experienced stress before, has never not experienced any anxiousness or elevated heart rates because of life. So if you
if
have a
you
heartbeat,
do, if you have never experienced stress, could we please have you come onto the podcast? Because we want to know your secrets.
yes, absolutely. Come join us for the essential oil scoop. We want to know the scoop. Okay, my friends. So before we end this podcast, we have the scoop of the day. And Sarah, I want you to take this away because I know you have a story that I'm really excited to hear because I don't think I've ever heard this. By the look on your face, I know this isn't Look-a-Vision. This is a podcast, but here we go. Let's learn.
Okay, so let's talk about Tri-Ease. Tri-Ease is our seasonal threat blend of soft gel. Okay, so it has lavender, lemon, and peppermint in it, which really helps with those seasonal threats. So I will tell you a quick story about Washington, D.C. We went, my whole dream in life was to go to Washington, D.C. and to see the cherry blossoms bloom. And we happened to live near DC at the time, and I was so excited because we were going to go see these cherry blossoms. My poor, wonderful, amazing husband is has very, very high seasonal issues with cherry blossoms. I mean, bad. Okay, really
Oh, poor
bad.
dude.
So he was a trooper though, because he knew this is like one of my bucket list things, and we're all about trying to get each other's bucket lists items checked off. And he went with me, and took his Tri-Ease before we got there. He had it in his pocket so he could take it while we were there, and the man was awesome. He did great. No sneezing, no itchiness, no running eyes, nothing. He was fantastic. Me, not thinking I don't have any issues, right? I was sneezing. My eyes were watering, and he looks at me and he's like, "Do you want some Tri-Ease?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I want to."
Oh man.
So the man who usually has issues had nothing. The person who, doesn't generally have issues was like trying to like see the beautiful blossoms through the tears that were coming out of their eyes, right?
Oh,
So
Sarah.
I did take my Tri-Ease. I did enjoy the rest of my day, but that first little bit, and it was very windy that day. I'm so glad we went because the wind picked up overnight and most of the blossoms were gone the next day. So I'm so glad we went the day we went. But that was my little story about Tri-Ease and why it helped us so much that day. And I'm so grateful for it. And we always keep this one on hand. Also, really quick story about it. I have a daughter who is allergic to the cold. Okay. So she actually, when she gets cold, she breaks out in hives, like
Oh
all
man.
over her body. Yeah. That we could do a whole podcast in on of itself, but she breaks out. And so anytime it's cold, we moved to Indiana. So every time she's cold now, she breaks out in hives. And I don't know about you, but if I was taking an OTC, I'd be sleeping for the whole day, right? So she
Correct.
has to,
Correct.
so we use Tri-Ease a lot for her because it really helps minimize the effects that she would have with these nasty little hives that break out all over her skin from being cold. So that is another way we like to use Tri-Ease. There's my two stories. I love the thing. I love the stuff. It's always, always, always in my house. You can find it there at any time.
Sarah, I love it. I'm so glad this was the scoop of the day because truthfully, I'm a Cali girl through and through, born and raised, and my husband and I uprooted, and we are now in a different state. A different state comes with different pollens and different wind conditions and temperatures. And for a girl that has been very blessed with not having these issues, my face, my skin, my eyes, my nose were like, "Excuse me, what'd you do? What happened?" Not okay. So luckily I have these three oils, right? These three oils that make up Tries that you just spoke about. I have the ability to go to my kitchen because these three oils are always in my kitchen, put it in my diffuser. I've made a tea. Like I did all the things that I know to do in order to support my body naturally. And I don't have to worry about any of those OTCs making me sleep on the job. Y'all, I have stuff to do every day like everybody else. There is no way on God's green earth I'd be able to do any of that if I was on those OTCs because they knock me out. So, hallelujah for some Tries, hallelujah for some lavender. I'm all about it, Sarah. Oh, and by the way, we have a fun recipe that we are going to be putting in the description in the show notes for you. And it's all about a lavender blueberry milkshake. Yum, yum, yum.
Oh, I can't wait to try this recipe. Awesome, Vicki. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's episode of the Essential Oil Scoop. We hope you found this discussion informative and helpful. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, please leave us a comment or reach out to us on our social medias. Don't forget to share, like, save, subscribe, or follow our podcast so you'll get notified every time we upload a new episode. Until next time, stay healthy. Keep using your essential oils to enhance your wellness journey. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.